Welcome back to another tutorial. Today I'm going to show you about a neat trick to optimize your game, your workflow and your gameplay. So to make a game you usually use physics because nowadays that's what most game engines rely on, the faked version of physics that emulate the real world, or at least gravity. So what we're going to do is, you see we have a bunch of, well, it's a maze really. It's a maze with a bunch of walls that look really cool. And it's awesome. Don't get me wrong, it's awesome, but it's not going to work for a physics game. Well, we're going to do something similar. Basically, we're going to make a cube, or whatever the form of your wall, or whatever the container or object you want to turn into a physics object. And we're going to create a base, a platform. We're going to remodel the entire level in a minimalistic, low poly design. Which is going to be used as a physics object. So this would be what the level is going to look like, and this would be what's going to be calculated as the physics. So as you can see, we're getting around having to calculate each edge individually. And once we've modeled all this and extruded it out into a to cover the platform as a rigid body collider, we are going to have to apply it. And thanks to this, we got a thanks to Blender, we have a new rigid body component called a parent component, or component parent. And what we're going to do is we are going to actually select the collision object and shift select the platform, press Ctrl P to parent them together. And in the by selecting the platform, we're going to add a rigid body to it, set it to passive because we want this to be a passive object, so we don't have it falling away or whatever. And we're going to select the new component parent type for the collision shape. And as you can see, it says there are no child rigid bodies, so we want to select the child rigid body in this case and add a rigid body to it and set it to mesh. And then this says this is the object parent of the component, which is obviously this one because the message has gone away. So yeah, that's how you do it. And now every time you launch the game, this would be the collision object, but this is what the level will look like, because you just have to disable the visibility in the viewport, or in the render, I mean, for the object, by going here and selecting it and disabling it in the render. So it doesn't render out this physics domain, but it still registers it as being the physics domain. So yeah, that's all I have for you today. It's very important to optimize memory for your gameplay, for your game I mean. So I hope you like this video. And one last tip for the road, if you're still following, then it's a bonus for you. When we extrude regions to optimize data even more, if we go to the extrusion tool and select the manifold extrusion method, as you can see if I zoom in and I move the handle, it's going to extrude it all in the same block. Whereas if I select the default regional extrusion, it adds a loop cut to the it extrudes another piece out, and that's not always what you might want. You might want this sometimes, but usually you'll probably want a manifold extrusion for cases like this anyway. So thank you very much finally for watching the video. It's now currently over, and I'll see you in the next one.